Taking this class has helped me learn a lot about myself and has allowed me to develop a much better career plan. Through the exercises and projects that we did this semester, I was able to look deep into myself and realize what my true strengths and weaknesses are as a person. One of the first exercises we did was the elevator pitch. In my speech, I wrote, "Hello, my name is Darren Bonanno, but that's my father's name, so I go by DJ. I'm currently completing an accounting degree at UMass Dartmouth, and I have an interest in minoring in either finance or MIS. Also, I've taken computer science classes before I decided that my strength was in accounting. I'm very eager to start building experience in the field before I graduate, and with my skills and interests, I believe your company would be a perfect place for me to start." In this speech, I started by introducing myself, but I made it interesting by letting them know I go by DJ. Not only does it help me stand out, but it makes the conversation feel more personal. Then I started talking about my major, my considerations for minors, as well as my skill sets and interests to let them know a little bit more about me. I ended by explaining that I was ready to work and excited to learn more about myself in the industry. This shows the employer that I have great work ethic and I'm willing to learn more. In Chapter 1, we learned all about self-awareness. Self-awareness is the ability to know your motivations, your preferences, and your personality, and understanding how these factors affect your judgment, decisions, and your interactions with others. I found that my strongest traits were in motivation and agreeableness. I'm always very motivated to get my responsibilities and my goals done, and I always try to agree with everybody because I don't like having conflicts. However, the strength of agreeableness can also sometimes be my biggest weakness, because sometimes I'm too agreeable to the point where I don't even voice my own opinion. Whether it's a problem with being too agreeable or not having confidence, I definitely need to become more assertive. To do this, I have to find the right balance between accommodating to others but always making sure I'm taken care of first. This will be a vital skill for achieving the goals I set myself, because I'll be able to make the right choices when they need to be made. In the next chapter, we learned about networking and mentoring. Personally, I think my greatest strength is in mentoring. I always feel the need to set the example and to show others how to do things the right way just to make it easier for them. However, although I enjoy mentoring others, I need to find a mentor for myself and work on my networking skills. One thing I'm going to do to make this change is join a club on campus. Also, I need to start talking more in classes and getting to know my professors. Doing this will not only help me figure out what I want, but it will also open up possible opportunities and connections. Chapter 3 was focused on goal setting skills. When it comes to my goal setting skills, I'm strong at striving for performance instead of outcomes. When I have to get a goal done, I always give it my 100% and my full potential. I don't get goals done just to get them done, but I do them to actually do them the right way. However, I'm not always good at making my goals SMART goals. When making them, I tend not to make them specific enough. They're usually just general ideas I have in my head. To make a change, I'm going to actually start writing them down and adding more details. Whether it's with schoolwork or in my social life, specifying my goals will help lead to achieving them. In Chapter 8, we talked about persuading individuals and audiences. I think I'm very strong at being able to persuade people, but without manipulating them. I hate the idea of manipulation. I don't like to take advantage of people, so I never try to do this when I am trying to persuade somebody to do something. I always try to find the mutual benefit between it that helps both of us. However, once again, this is one of my weaknesses as well, because I'm too giving and people can take advantage of me instead. To make a change, I need to become a less humble person and seek more benefit for myself. And once I'm able to find the right balance between self-benefit and accommodating to others, I'll be able to reach my full potential. In Chapter 13, we learned about facilitating team success. In terms of my facilitation skills, I think I have strong task-oriented behaviors. I tend to focus on the contents of meetings and always look at the actions that we need to do to get the goals done. However, I'm not very good at maintenance-oriented skills. I need to stay strong in task-oriented skills, but also remember to communicate with my group mates. This way, we can express any issues that we're having right away. Making this change will allow me to do work faster and improve the quality of the work that we're doing together as a team. Chapter 10 was similar to Chapter 13. It was about building teams and group work. When I'm part of a team, I'm strongest at actively participating and being focused. I always try to participate to get work done, and I also try to encourage others to do the same. However, I sometimes fail to effectively collaborate with my team. When I'm too focused on getting work done, I fail to look at the process of the group. When I don't do this, the work doesn't come out as good as it could have. It's not only about finishing a project, but also about how it can be done together. By focusing more on the process instead of just the content, it'll help my team get better work done in the end. Next was Chapter 18, Leading and Empowering Self and Others. My biggest strength is in self-leadership. Self-leadership is what happens when individuals act on their own to get their goals accomplished. While I'm good at leading myself, my power to lead others is somewhat weak. In order for me to become an effective leader, I need to build more confidence in myself. Practicing and improving my confidence will allow me to open up a whole new side as a leader. I'll be able to share my vision, plan, and goals with others instead of just holding them to myself. In the next chapter, we learn about communicating effectively. My most effective way of communicating is through writing. I prefer writing because it allows me to have a chance to think about what I want to say before having to put it into words. However, I still need to work on my oral communication if I ever want to become an assertive leader. Two-way communication will give me a chance to obtain immediate feedback. Without this feedback, I wouldn't be able to ever improve my ideas, which is why I need to practice this skill. Chapter 6 taught about listening skills and nonverbal communication skills. Active listening is the most powerful level of listening in which communication is a vibrant two-way process, and there's many characteristics to this. The strongest characteristics that I have are ask questions when you don't understand completely, or paraphrase to correct misinterpretations. I'm weaker at characteristics such as use direct eye contact, avoid distractions, and listen with your entire body. To get better at these things, I need to overcome the barrier of partial listening and distractions. Practicing this will help me not only understand a speaker's point better, but it will also show them that I'm concerned with what they're telling me. Next was Chapter 11, Managing Conflict. Out of the 5 conflict management strategies, I'm best at using the avoidance and the competing method. Honestly, when it comes to conflict, I'm one way or the other. I'll either join in and start competing, or I'll avoid it altogether. What I need to do is start learning how to use more than just these 2 methods. For example, collaboration. Collaboration is the ultimate win-win strategy where communication and negotiation skills are used to make both parties satisfied. I need to start using every strategy other than just the 2 I like, because each strategy has strong points but also has weak points. Using them all together will help me become a better manager of conflict in general. Last was Chapter 14, Making Decisions and Solving Problems Creatively. Creative problem solving requires the use of both convergent and divergent thinking. Personally, I'm strongest and most comfortable with convergent thinking. This type of thinking is what makes sense to me and it's how I naturally process ideas in my head. On the other hand, I'm not as good as thinking divergently. To become a more divergent thinker, I need to open up to different work styles. Learning how to consider these different perspectives will help me become more innovative instead of only sticking to my direct ways. This will be very important in the professional world because I'm going to have to learn different ways and be willing to change if I want to ever succeed. Looking back on this semester, I see that when I first entered this class, I did not truly know myself. Management 201 has taught me so much more about myself than I ever expected. I learned that overall my lack of confidence is what stunts all my skills from facilitation, leadership, communication, assertion, thinking skills, and many more. Also, this class has forced me to begin networking, which is something I never would have done on my own. I was able to reach a very important realization through networking, which was, I don't want to work in the accounting field. This big decision that I made through accounting and finance was something I learned through a management class, which is very surprising to me. Overall, not only has this course taught me about the skills I need to work on, but has prepared me and set me in the career path that I know I want to pursue, finance. Thank you for mentoring me and taking me through experience, as now I'm very excited for my future.